Hey, how's it going everybody? Sinful Duck here, and today I wanted to do a review of the MMX 300 gaming headset by Beyerdynamic. Now, I've used Beyerdynamic headphones for years in gaming and just listening to music and for pretty much everything. And so when I saw that they had a gaming headset, I had to get my hands on it and try it out. And since I have, I wanted to tell you guys my experience with it. So I'm going to kind of break this down into a few different parts here. But the first part I want to get into is going to be just the design of it. So the Beyerdynamic headset is a super sturdy design. The first thing you notice when you look at it is that instead of having plastic yokes on it like most gaming headsets would have, that can be flimsy, and after some use they're gonna start wearing down, and most of the time they just break. The yoke is probably the most common place that I see gaming headsets break. But instead of using plastic, Beyerdynamics went all out and they use a nice solid metal frame. So you've got some nice solid metal yokes on there. They're not gonna break. These things are pretty heavy duty, so if you can do something to break these, congratulations. You should probably be in the world's strongest man competition, because these things are pretty durable. The next thing that you'll notice is just looking at the appearance of the design is really nice. I mean, it's a clean design, clean look, but you do have a really nice carbon fiber inlay on these things. Now, it's not actually carbon fiber, it is just a hard plastic with a carbon fiber look to it, but it's really nice to look at. And you'll also have, at least for the pair that I have here, you've got the nice black velvety type cushions, which are really nice, and then just a nice black leather headband. So overall they look really nice, the design is really sturdy, they're gonna stand up to just about anything you can put them through. And they do come with a nice travel case, so you can take them with you when you're traveling, which is another big plus. I really love the design of these headphones. They're great. Now, the second part that I want to move into here, I want to talk to you guys for a second about the comfort. I mean, as a gamer, we put in a lot of hours. You know, we're going to put in a lot of hours, and for those long hours, you want a gaming headset that's not going to get in your way. It's not going to make your ears hurt. It's not going to make your head hot. And this headset accomplishes all of that easily. Now, the first thing I want to start with here is the ear cups. I know some people, they enjoy what's called an on-the-ear headphone, which basically is just like it sounds. It's a headset that sits on your ear. I will never understand why people like those. This headset has a nice large ear cup that completely surrounds your ear. And for me, number one, it gives you great noise isolation. So you're not going to hear a bunch of noise from outside of the headphones. But what it also does is it makes it so comfortable. You can have these things on for hours, and because they're not sitting on your ear creating all that pressure and making your ears hurt, you can wear them for hours and hardly notice that they're there. And the cushioning that these things have around the ear cups is so soft that, I mean, when you've got them on, you really can't tell. I mean, between the large ear cup, the soft padding, and the fact that this headset, even though, like I said earlier, it's made of metal, it's one of the lightest headsets I've ever had. I mean, you've got the metal yokes, and you've got really large drivers in the headphones itself, but they're still some of the lightest headphones I've ever had, and it's great. So when you're doing a long gaming session, these things are going to be really comfortable. They're not going to annoy your head. Again, back to the pads on the ear. Like I said, they're very comfortable, but what I've also noticed is that while they do block out almost all the sound from outside, they breathe really well. One of the complaints I've seen with some other gaming headsets, especially headsets that have leather ear cup pads, is that your head will get sweaty. You know, they don't breathe, so your ears get hot and your head gets sweaty. and you don't want that. You don't want that at all. And this headset, it does have the nice cushions on here. I'm not sure exactly what the material is, but it's nice and just velvety soft. I love it, and it breathes so well that, I mean, I've worn these things for 6-7 hours at a time, and your head never gets tired, never gets hot, which is fantastic. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have probably heard enough about all that. When you're watching a headset review, you want to hear what I have to say about the sound quality. The sound quality is what's most important to most people, so let's jump into that real quick. Now, as I stated a second ago here, these headphones they've got really big drivers in them. And coming from a company like Beyerdynamic, for those of you who don't know who Beyerdynamic is, they create some of the best high-end music production headphones in the world. Their stuff is just incredible, and I've used their headphones for years, and anytime I put on something else, the difference in sound quality is night and day. I mean, Beyerdynamic makes such a phenomenal product, so I was excited to put these on and give them the test and see how they sound. And to be honest, I was surprised. Most of Beyerdynamic's headphones, they give great audio response, but they're very flat, and that's done on purpose for audio production. You don't want any unnecessary bass and things in there because you want to be able to hear what you're doing. In gaming, it's a little different. In gaming, you want some little embellishments in there. You know, when an explosion goes off, you want to really feel it. And this headset does that. This headset does that really well. I've gone through everything from music to playing Battlefield to WoW, and with all these different games and different scenarios I've put these headphones through, it does phenomenal with all of them. And you get everything from a nice, clean, hard-hitting bass from a music track, all the way to an explosion that just rings and rings, and just heavy resonating bass, which is really great for games. The hard-hitting stuff is really nice too, and most headsets don't do both. Most headsets are only able to do one or the other, and this one is able to do both. But bass is not all these things do. When you're playing, one of the most important things that you want to hear, especially in a first-person shooter, is you want to hear those footsteps. You want to hear those really subtle high and mid tones, and you're able to hear all that crystal clear in this headset. I've used some other gaming headsets. I don't want to name any names, but a lot of times it sounds like they try to boost up the frequencies in the headphones so that you hear those things better, and this headset doesn't have to do that. They come through so naturally and so clean that everything just sounds great. The sound spectrum on these is so huge that, I mean, there's even frequencies in there that really don't need to be because we can't really hear them, and these headphones supposedly can reproduce those, but I mean, there's no way of testing it for me, obviously. But what I do know is that everything I need to hear is there. It's easy to pinpoint things. Actually, that brings me to another point, the positional audio. Now, I do use a sound card in my computer. It does have 3D sound, so I am able to play these things in 5.1, 7.1, and you can do the same if you've got a sound card that does that, or some software. Like I know Razer created the Razer Surround program. It does pretty well. So if you do have hardware or software that's able to do that, this headset is great at positional audio. Playing something like Battlefield, you can pick out where gunshots are coming from easily without even looking at the screen. You can pick out in WoW, if somebody comes up behind me and starts casting something at me, I can hear them, so I know exactly where they are and where the damage is about to come from. So it really can actually give you a big advantage having a good headset. And a lot of people underestimate sound in games, but once you use a headset like this, you're not going to underestimate sound anymore. So the quality of these things, absolutely phenomenal. I don't want to forget about the mic. Last thing I want to talk about real quick is the mic. The mic is, it's actually a condenser mic on this thing, and it sounds really good. Now, it's not quite as good as as my normal mic that I'm recording on now. It is a much smaller mic, so it's going to be a little bit lower quality, but it's very clean, very clear. For those of you who would just be using it for something like Skype or Ventrilo, things like that, just in-game chatting, this thing is going to be more than enough. It's going to sound better than just about any other headset out there. So great quality mic. The boom on it is actually flexible, so you can move it around just like most headsets can. But I've been playing around with this thing now for about 3 months, and on a lot of headsets after a few months, the boom mic, being able to rotate it and bend it and all that, it starts getting a little loose and flimsy, and you have to kind of put it in position and then it'll fall a little bit. This thing, still just as sturdy as the day I opened it up out of the box. So 3 months in, using the heck out of this thing, and it's still solid as a rock. So overall, my opinion on the headset: phenomenally built, incredible sound quality, and one of the most comfortable headsets I've ever worn. So yeah, it's an amazing headset. I love this thing. I wish I could keep it, to be honest. I do have to get this back to Beyerdynamic. They were kind enough to send this to me just for the review, but I do have to get it back. Hopefully I'll be able to get another set of these soon that I can actually hang on to. Which brings me to why I don't have a pair of my own already. The price on this. These headphones do start at $369, which is a little pricey, but for those of you who are looking at things like Astro A40s or A50s, they're kind of in that price range, and I have used the Astros before. I would have to say the sound quality of these Beyerdynamics it's quite a bit better, and they're a lot more comfortable for me. The Astros weren't really that comfortable for me, and they felt a little flimsy. But these MMX 300s, they're solid. They sound amazing, so you definitely get what you pay for. And I'm a very big believer in quality over quantity. So I'd rather spend the money on a headset that I know is gonna be great and it's gonna last me a long time, rather than spend a little bit less money on something cheaper that I'm gonna have to replace in a year or two. Like I said, I use Beyerdynamic headphones now, and I've been using the same pair for about 6 years, and they don't look or feel like they've been used that much. So these things hold up really well, and again, you get what you pay for. They start at $369. They do have an amazing customizing feature that I'm going to leave a link to down below, so make sure you click the link, go check that out, and see how much you can customize these things. I mean, you can customize the color of every single individual piece of these headphones. You can change materials on things. You can change, if you don't want that velvety material in the ear cup, you can change it. There's just so many options. So make sure you go click the link, check it out, and that's all I got for now, guys. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below, and until next time, take it easy.